I realize and acknowledge this information is only coming through the lens of my perspective. I am trying to organize and articulate what's in my heart and what I've been guided to and through in my life. I'm asking now for guidance from the Spirit which has been there from the beginning, the Spirit of truth, which has become the focus of my life. I was indoctrinated in a fundamental Baptist home and was programmed to believe certain things about the reality of nature, the reality of mankind and consciousness, and why we are here. At a very early age, I was taught to believe certain truths, which was the whole truth and nothing but the truth, according to King James alone, and like a good young lad, I then took that knowledge and that truth, and I applied it to life, and I witnessed it manifest before me. I've come to realize that certain things I've been taught to believe are simply not accurate based on the feedback I've gotten from life. Now, I know that mankind is governed by natural laws that exist at each level of consciousness through every expression of life that exists all the way from the top down within our perception and outside of our perception. We've come to understand that this is a very small window for a human being, but through that window we witness life as we travel around the sun and we apply what we witness to our programming. Each of us has gotten a different version of the human programming from our family, from our religion, from our education, from our surroundings, from our brothers and sisters, from the movies we watch, from the things people say, from the traumas we witness and experience in our lives that implant these things into our personality like a data upload. This is what's happening all the time, but we are much more susceptible to it in the first part of our life, in a state of constant download with almost zero processing. We get feedback from our five senses and continue to manifest and create a new reality within the scope of our realm based on the information we gather. Now, each of us have our own role to play based on our own personal programming, which is completely unique and seemingly infinite based on the number of human beings who have lived and died and experienced this reality within a certain level of consciousness. As we experience this reality, this awareness, this understanding, we learn and grow as we pass that information on to any of the other programs that are here for us to interact with in whatever way we are configured to, not only through our stories and experiences and what we put each other through, but also through the information that's passed through our DNA. We've learned about this amazing capability of our DNA, beyond our comprehension, to store information and download or upload that information through the ether and through reproduction. So, as we go along this journey, each of us are gathering and processing data and passing along this information and applying it to our surroundings, our environment, our world, our whole understanding, and then we continue to get feedback and we continue to learn and grow. Unless we continue to believe that the end is already written and the outcome is out of our control, which is exactly what our books tell us to believe. That information has been manipulated to mold us and hold us back from creating the reality we naturally crave, the reality that we were actually given in the beginning, our original programming, the Garden of Eden, long before time and evolution manipulated that understanding and that programming. I have come to understand that human beings are organic artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence is nothing more than a program that can continue to rewrite its program so that it can learn and grow. So we are built with a foundation, a database of information, and then we can use this giant database of information to access knowledge and to learn and to grow so that we can keep rewriting our program and also teach our creator in the same way, who is most likely just a higher version of ourselves, the same biological artificial intelligence. As above, so below. That's what's happening all around us, all the time. Our job is to manifest the light that is within us in ever more glorious and spectacular ways. Through that journey, we will fail, which is reflected in darkness. But we only need to shine our inner light to find our way back home to the truth. Humankind is the prodigal son on a journey through this foreign land, on our way back to our Father. We are made in the image of our Creator, and we should start acting like we truly are aware of what that means. We have been doing nothing more than reverse engineering how we've been built and how our universe has been built. Figuring out the rules and running experiments based on said rules. That ultimately means that this has been given to us. We were created to be this way, and this is our purpose, and our reality is a reflection of how well we learned and how much we have grown from the application of that growth. Our duty is to continue to learn and grow, but we will never accomplish this while we are separated by our language, religious and political beliefs, our gender, the way we look or dress, and all these things that we are taught to focus on, which only creates more separation. This is obviously necessary because it exists and coincidences do not. It is also our job to realize our own divinity individually and then to manifest that light into our reality to collectively grow our unified understanding. I believe that battle between the light and the darkness is playing out across the space of time, and what we're doing on Earth is creating reality on an individual basis and on a collective basis, both on Earth as it is in heaven. So, like a good young lad, I wish to put this understanding to a test through experimentation because I've been guided on this path of truth through prayer and meditation for years. I have been asking for the ability to let go of my biases and all of my programming in order to build back new programming. I found out the hard way. This is strictly an inside job. I committed myself to looking into the deepest parts of my soul, and what I saw at the very bottom of that rabbit hole was a mirror. Taking full responsibility for every aspect of my life, including my biological, chemical, and genetic soup, was the first step in erasing the old and outdated programming, and I was able to reprogram myself based on the truth. I didn't care what it looked like as long as it was the truth, and so I've been on this path of enlightenment, slowly gathering more and more truth and adding it to my new programming. I have searched through all these books that I have read and all these lectures that I've listened to and all the time that I have spent studying and experimenting and meditating on truth because I know that the truth can be found in my religion and in every other one I've researched as well. I've read books like the Quran and the Book of Mormon. I have read and studied the apocryphal books that were removed from the canon that I was given as the full, final, and exact Word of God in English. I've studied the tablets that date back further than anything that has used their truth to create various culturally reflective stories. I know a certain version of the original kernel of the truth is there, and in all the others, but I can see how they have been manipulated through time because I have been able to take my eyes outside of the book that I was handed as a child to look around at the rest of the things around me, to study history, science, and mathematics, and to use all of them collectively to make a good decision based on my own personal experiences about what my purpose truly is. I have gone through this process of weighing and analyzing different versions of the same truth and applying them through the experimentation of life. I just keep getting this feedback and I keep applying the positive and discarding the negative, and I keep learning and growing and rewriting my program as I go along like AI. I keep applying what's good and what's right based on what I've learned, and I have liberated myself from the things that used to tie me down, like the books that are formatted in a certain way that deliver the truth in a package that simply isn't the whole truth. I have been led on a path of destruction based on that lack of truth in my childhood, and it has been difficult to sort through my programming in order to articulate the truth. The only reason any religion lasts is because there is an element of truth implanted within each, which empowers it to stand the test of time. People have a tendency to root out the truth, like bloodhounds, because we're all participating in this experiment together so we can learn and grow to find out the truth of who we really are. We are each linked into the same divine power that breathes life into everything that exists, and once again, as above, so below. In the mirror universe we live in, each one is a reflection of the last, and each one continues to expand and grow based on what's happening below them on the experiences of the collective consciousness, on earth as it is in heaven. We can look around and see the evidence that is slowly but surely being spoon-fed to the population, and that is based on karmic retribution because the darkness knows that they have to give us the opportunity to make a choice. We really can't be forced into any of this, but that's exactly what they are trying to make us believe. We have to wake up and realize that we don't have to go along with what they say. They don't want us to comprehend and really grasp the fact that we are all connected as one. So collectively we have the power, not them, because they are the minority and we are the majority. All those who have been manipulated by the system every single day are not actually divided by color, creed, race, gender, and all these things when it comes to what's happening on our planet, because we all have to live here and we all have to deal with the repercussions of the choices of each individual part of our collective. We have to take a stand together against what the powers which battle against us are doing. But we are lulled into sleep believing that some power outside of us is going to come save us and take us away from the death and destruction we had a hand in creating. We've spent so much time hoping and hoping that this is going to happen in prayer instead of meditating on the truth and watching that play out in our reality. Ultimately, that is what's really going on, but as long as we sit back waiting for Jesus or something else to save us, the more we're going to be asleep, not actually participating in what's happening and being swept away by the powers that are against humanity. You can look around and see there are powers that are against humanity, but there are also powers that are working for humanity. It's merely a matter of perspective. Which one will you choose? This is a clear example of the struggle between the light and the darkness, and every religion, every creed, every belief system is a result of this dance, or rather more of a journey of exploration to the knowledge of knowing each end of the same pole. Love and hate are the same thing. They are simply the negative or the positive side of one whole. There are many other examples of the same, such as greed versus gratitude, fear versus freedom, and cold versus hot. We are collectively on this planet and galactically participating in the expansion of the understanding of what love really is and what hate really is, and we have to experience it in order to know it. Collectively, we are experiencing it, and throughout history, you can see that reincarnation playing out. Lessons for humanity have been repeating themselves throughout history over and over again, using different tools, different religions, different politics that have guided the same battle, the same struggle throughout time. As soon as we can grasp that what we do in life echoes in eternity, then we can really start moving forward to collectively change our unwritten future. We are continuing to write and rewrite our future as we go, as we play this game, each participant being responsible for manifesting their own life, their own reality. So if that's true individually, then it must be true collectively. The more that we focus on the bullshit they keep shoving down our throats, the more separation, war, and destruction will manifest in our world. We can actually magnetically draw our planet collectively into a kind of vibration that actually serves all of us, and we can reverse the process of destruction created by the darkness. We are able to realize they are manipulating the masses through mind control in the same way Hitler did in his time. Using the same propaganda techniques, people are being convinced to commit all the same crimes against each other all over again in new and exciting ways, but all for the same old reason: separation. They are using fear to convince us to destroy each other. Dark forces through our government are experimenting with us like lab rats, right out in the open with mind control, because they're planting these ideas in our mind through the vast array of media sources which they control and own, and they watch their plan manifest in reality. They use the most influential in our society to manipulate the reality of the collective to what they desire, but we have the power to stop them. We don't need money or anything other than the power of our collective consciousness. We must understand that we are connected, and we are all responsible for our destiny and for where humanity will be tomorrow and beyond. We are responsible for ourselves because we have been given that power, and we should not allow the darkness to rob us of our light. We will direct our own path based on our own choices. Today, right now, I'm asking for help in this experiment because I know I am unable to change the world alone. If any of this has resonated with anyone, I am asking you to join me. Join me on this journey of experimentation. Every morning as the sun rises, I am asking you to join me in meditation. Any Christian can read in the Bible that Christ was meditating all the time, and he was chastising his disciples for falling asleep while he was in the garden all night meditating. Now, he wasn't reciting vain repetitions, was he? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. No, he was not. That is a perfect example of the manipulation of the truth that I have been speaking about. He was meditating. So, you want to be like Christ? Meditate. Not with vain repetitions. Our faith will set us free, and I believe in the power of our collective. The more people that gather together on a regular basis to meditate on peace, love, gratitude, and unity, the more power this experiment has. Other people have witnessed amazing results from conducting similar experiments for just one day. Imagine the power this will have after we have grown to a number in the hundreds of thousands. Imagine the power of all those individuals closing their eyes at the same time, plugging into our higher consciousness in meditation and using the power of the sun to transmit peace instead of war, love instead of hate, unity instead of separation. If we can imagine a better future in our minds, we can build that reality. We actually are, whether we realize it or not. So it's time to grasp the truth. It's time to accept your birthright. Start treating your life like it's not a coincidence and start living with intention. Join me every morning at sunrise, wherever you are on the earth, and just simply take whatever time you have to stop what you're doing. Close your eyes. Disconnect from your physical senses and allow your spiritual sense to take over and guide you towards knowing who you really are. We can join together in one mind, in one voice, and raise the vibration of our planet, which will pull us into a space and time that is full of light instead of darkness, on a path that is higher, closer to our Creator, and closer to our source.